Hi, and welcome back to another car conversation on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. It is my hope and prayer that your day has been going great. Y'all listen, I'm going to get this video done and I need to get on down the road. I'm headed to church. We are having what's called Sister Giving. In keeping in line with the holiday season, since most of us will be with our families and or friends for Thanksgiving, we're having a Sisters Giving. And I thought that was really, really nice. So I'm going to wrap this video up as quick as I can so I can get down the street. I got 35 minutes to get there. Luckily, I'm only maybe 12 minutes away. But before I get into today's topic, I want to first say thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Tap the bell, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with those that can use this topic, because the topic I'm going to share with you all today is something that we don't like to discuss, but we have to because of the time of the year. And if this is not your first rodeo, welcome back. You know I miss you when I don't get a chance to see you. Now let's jump right on in. Today's topic is dealing with holiday depression. And like I said, I kind of toyed around with talking about this today. I thought, well, maybe I'll do it after Thanksgiving. And then the reality said, the light bulb, I should say, went off and said, Michelle, look, you've got to talk about it. Just go ahead and do it today. Because the reality is that even though the song says it's the most wonderful time of the year, it really isn't for everybody. There are some people who are dealing with serious depression during this time of the year. And it breaks my heart to know that some of those people may be people that I know personally. And I'm not aware that they're dealing with it. You understand? Because people don't always want to tell you. And so I said, no, let me just talk about this, because this is the season to be jolly and merry, but it isn't for everybody. So I'm going to be talking about dealing with holiday depression. And I have 5 steps that I want to share with you, and I promise I'll bid you good day. Number 1, acknowledge your feelings. Allow yourself to feel without judgment. The holidays can bring up grief, loneliness, or stress, and that's okay. Give yourself permission to not force joy. Sometimes simply naming your emotions helps to ease your intensity. Let's unpack this really quickly. And so we know that the holidays can bring about grief. I have 2 people right now in my life who have a hard time with the holiday season because both of their mothers passed away, I want to say 2 years apart during the holiday season. And so it is very hard for them. And this is recent, okay, recent. One of them, it's been a year. The other one, it's been, I want to say, it's going on 3 years. And so for them, that memory is still fresh. Both of their moms loved the holidays. And so it is very, very, a very depressing time for them. And I just do my best to kind of keep them both uplifted the best that I can, because I don't know that feeling. Like, so I can't tell you, I know how you feel, because I don't know that loss. God is good, and he's allowed me to still have my mom and dad. They're in their early 80s, but they're still here. And so I'm truly blessed for that. So I can't say I understand how you feel, but I can only imagine, and I can still sympathize and empathize with you. But then it also brings up loneliness, because there are some people who are alone, and there are folks who are thinking, wow, another holiday and I'm by myself. I really wish, God, you would send on that good man, that good woman, the right man and right woman in my life, because I'm tired of being alone. And they go to the office, or they talk to their friends on social media, or even at church, and they know, wow, this person's going to be all booed up with their boo thing and everything, and you're at home by yourself. But here's the thing. 1 is still a whole number. Let me tell you something. I never get a chance to be lonely. I promise you. Every time I get in this car, my phone rings. Somebody's calling me, if not somebody's. So I don't get a chance to be alone, because there's always someone around me and or calling me. Like I said, I don't know, people must have a radar or something that goes off every time I get in the vehicle, and that's all fine and good. As a matter of fact, this is the second time starting this video. First time Frankie called me, and as soon as I hung up with him, my mom called. So I never get a chance to be alone, but I do understand that people do want to have somebody special in their lives to spend the holidays with. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that. But just know this, we're not going to settle. I'm going to do a whole video on that too soon, but we're not going to settle. That's what we're not going to do. So don't just settle for having somebody in your life to say, yeah, I have a man, I got a woman. Pray, wait for God to send you the right person. And then it also brings up stress. Why do you say that, Michelle? Well, the stress to have a perfect holiday season. And guess what? Perfection is just not real. Things may turn out exactly the way you want, but there's always some hiccups along the way. So if you are stressing yourself out to have the perfect meal, the perfect decorations, you're stressing yourself out because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and the Smiths and the Williams and all of that, you are going to stress yourself out. Decorate your house the way you like to decorate it. Don't try to do what Martha Stewart does. I don't know what her house looks like, but I can only imagine. But decorate the way you decorate. Some of y'all trying to keep up traditions that mom and daddy had when you were growing up, and it's stressful. Do what works for you. Number 2, set realistic expectations. You don't have to make the holidays perfect or match anyone else's traditions. Didn't I just say that? Focus on what truly matters to you. Simplify plans, say no when needed, and choose peace over pressure. It's as simple as that. I really don't have to unpack this. I really don't, because it speaks volumes. You don't have to match anybody else's traditions. I just talked about that. Create your own traditions. If you have a tradition of eating a pig with corn cob stuck up its nose and that's what you like, create that tradition. That would be disgusting for me to see, but if that's what you like, you create it. We have begun a new tradition where we go out and we eat dinner at a restaurant on Thanksgiving because nobody really wants to do all that cooking anymore. And then it's not like we're sitting down eating. So, you pick this fix this big turkey, you eat off of it a couple of days. It's like, okay, I'm tired of that. I need to go give me something else to eat because I'm tired of eating off of that. So that's our new tradition, is going out to eat, Although I know Dad would love to stand up and cook his greens, not that he can't. Because like I said, I was telling myself, I know we're going to go out to eat someplace, but we still want to have something for later on that day or even the next day. So I'll make sure we get 2 Cornish hens. Dad's going to cook his greens and, just do all the other stuff to have dinner after that. But again, it's about creating traditions that work for you so that you are not stressful and feeling overwhelmed. Choose peace, y'all. I don't know about you, but I keeps me some peace. You know why? And not the kind of peace that Medea kept, but I do keep peace because I don't like strife. I don't like a whole bunch of hoo-ha. I don't even know what the heck a hoo-ha is, but I don't like all of that. I desire peace, and I will have peace. Number 3, stay connected. Isolation can and oftentimes does deepen sadness. Reach out. A phone call, video chat, a short visit can lift up your mood. If you don't have close friends or family nearby, hear me, consider volunteering or attending a community or church event. Remember, connection heals. We talked about that loneliness, and a lot of times that comes because you're just by yourself. You have nobody to spend the holidays with because everybody's with their families. And that loneliness, it often starts to make your mind wander. And then you start to conjure up things that probably aren't even really there just because you are lonely. And so, the isolation, like I said, oftentimes does deepen the sadness that you're feeling. So get out there and do community stuff. If your church is having a food drive, participate. If your community is doing something, participate. If they're having maybe you live in a community where you all have a community center and they're doing Thanksgiving there for everybody that maybe doesn't have family, go and be a part of that. Meet some new people. But you don't have to be by yourself wallowing in self-pity. I would prefer that you not do that, okay? And again, staying connected. It could be something simple as just making a phone call. Hey, just calling on you, just checking. I haven't heard from you in a while. What you got planned for the holiday? Maybe you all can hook up and go get something to eat. A video chat or just a short visit. Anything to lift your mood and making sure that it's legal, okay? So, number 4, take care of your body and your mind. Y'all, this is important. And we forget about this. But you've got to take care of your body and your mind. So get enough rest, eat balanced meals, move your body daily, okay? Even just going for a walk. You can walk your community depending on where you live. And limit alcohol and sugar. I cannot stress that enough. I don't drink personally, ever. I don't drink any time of the year. I just have never been one to drink, and I'm not interested. I don't even like the way alcohol smells or beer, but I digress. But when you introduce alcohol into your body, it starts to mess with the mind. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to definitely limit that. I know the drinks will be passed around. I'm thankful that in my family, even for our family reunion, we don't have alcohol. Never have, never will. And I like that. The Bible says be of a sober mind. So You know, when you get Uncle Nuck Nuck and Aunt Chrissy together, they don't get along anyway, but let them start drinking and they're gonna start bumping heads. And I don't know who those people are, but you get where I'm going with it, right? And the sugar, definitely. I know this is the most wonderful time of the year. We've got gingerbread cookies, which reminds me, I do need to find a gingerbread man kit because I want to make my own cookies and decorate it. But again, I digress. I'm going back to my notes. But limit the alcohol and the sugar. Try journaling. Try prayer. Come on, somebody. Or do some deep breathing to center yourself. Caring for your physical health supports your emotional strength. I'm going to say that one more time because somebody in the back of the room didn't get it. Caring for your physical health supports your emotional strength. And number 5, focus on meaning, not perfection. Refocus your energy on gratitude, faith, or acts of kindness. Small, meaningful actions like writing affirmations, helping someone in need, or reflecting on personal growth can bring comfort and a sense of purpose during the season. Let's unpack that really quickly. So when you refocus your energy on gratitude instead of focusing your energy on perfection, making sure the turkey is done just right, making sure the stuffing is just stuffed, making sure the vegetables are cooked and seasoned to perfection. When you take your focus off all of that stuff and refocus it on gratitude, being grateful. You know, when I was growing up, we had to go around the table and everybody had to say something that they were thankful for. So when you refocus all that other meaningless stuff, important but meaningless at the same time, and you focus on being grateful, you would be surprised at how you set the atmosphere just with talking about being grateful. Everybody can go around the table, whoever's saying the grace, just thank God. Lord, I'm grateful for being able to see another Thanksgiving and or Christmas. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for the food that we're about to eat. I'm thankful that I get to come to you, God, and say thank you on this Thanksgiving or this Christmas day. But you've got to take your mind off the decorations and the food and start focus on being grateful. Because here's the thing, no matter how much food you have or how much food you don't have, somebody somewhere doesn't have what you have. Somebody somewhere is curled up in a tent under sleeping bags trying to stay warm on Thanksgiving, and at least you have a family or friends or a circle of a community, I should say, of people to be around. But there's homeless people everywhere. They don't have that for whatever reason. There's somebody sitting in their home. They're just grateful to have a roof over their head and some heat, but they don't have a whole lot for a meal. So maybe all they have is a bag of rice and some vegetables. But guess what? They're grateful for what they have. So we get so focused, and I know I'm getting off on a tangent, but I got to say this. We get so focused on what we don't have. We get so focused on what God hasn't done that we forget to be thankful and grateful for what we do have and for what God is doing. Going back to my notes. And what did I just say? I was going somewhere, but I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so we got to focus on the meaning and not perfection, but also not just being grateful, but we got to focus on the reason for the season. We've gotten away from that. The holiday season to most people is about gifts. It's about that beautiful Christmas tree. It's about the decorations in the yard. It's about the family coming over for dinner. It's about the sitting around watching Christmas movies, drinking hot chocolate or a hot cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is, your drink of choice. And we forget the reason for the season. Thanksgiving is not about that big spread on the table. It's about being able to thank God and truly thank him for just keeping you through this year. That's really what it's about. And even for Christmas, we forget the reason for the season. We're here to celebrate the birth of Christ, how Christ came so that we may have life and have it more abundantly. How Jesus is the reason for the season. You get where I'm going with this? So don't let all that other stuff get you all bound up and you just mad at this person because Aunt Chrissy got to make the potato salad and Uncle Joe was bringing the macaroni salad. You wanted to make both, but they were just they were given the assignment to do that. Okay, then you bake some brownies. But at the end of the day, remember why you're getting together. The food, the fellowship, all of that is great, but it means nothing if you don't remember Jesus is why we are gathering together during this time of the year, to be thankful, to be grateful. Because the reality is that something happened to somebody under the sound of my voice, and you shouldn't even be here. You shouldn't even be here, but it was by God's grace and mercy that he saved you, that he redeemed you. He brought you back to life. Maybe you're flatlined, but he brought you back because he said, not yet. It's not your time. You still have work to do. So I don't know about you all, but I'm grateful. I'm super grateful. I shared a couple of videos ago that October the 12th, I celebrated 1 year of being seizure free. And I remember the last time I had a seizure, it was October the 12th of 2024. And I prayed and I cried. I cried and I prayed and I asked God to touch my body, to heal my head so that I would not have seizures ever again in life. And God has not failed me yet. So that's what I am thankful and grateful for. Of course, of being here and having my family too. But I'm grateful for so many things. I wouldn't care if we sat down over a can of pork and beans and hot dogs. I'm going to be grateful. Y'all, that's it. That's all I got because I need to get up out of here. Like I said, I now have about 15 minutes to get where I'm going. But thank you so much for allowing me to pour into you. It is my hope and prayer that something I said resonates with you and helps you as you go through this holiday season. And we'll talk some more about it too as we, before we get to the end of the year. But I want you all to know that I love you all so much. This is why I do what I do. I'm thankful and I'm grateful that I have a platform where I can pour into others. And I use it such that it is pleasing to God every chance I get. And so I thank each and every one of you for allowing me to do that. But as I told my viewers on TikTok, if you are struggling with this holiday season and you just said, look, Shell, I just need somebody to talk to, my contact information is in the description box. Please make sure you go and you click on it and you reach out to me. Send me an email and reach out to me and let me know. And I will give you a free 1-hour consultation where we can just talk. And if you choose to stay on as a client, awesome. But if not, if I can just give you some ideas, some tips, and definitely pray for you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, having said all of that, y'all go out there, enjoy the rest of your day, no matter where you go or what you do. Have fun, be safe. And just know that I love you all to the moon and back. There's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing that you can ever do to make me change that. Again, I love you too much to let you stay the way you are, which is why I pour into you. Now, as always, continue to pray for me because I am always praying for you, and watch God change things. Love you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will talk again on Monday.